Hello everyone. Today we'll talk about some special kinds of subgroups. So without wasting time, let's move ahead to the very first definition, which is a subgroup. So this says that if G is a group and A is an element in G, let's define capital H to be equal to this. Now what is this? This set is equal to a power n such that n belongs to set of integers, right? So this is all set of all elements in G which is equal to a power n. All positive powers of, not positive powers, sorry. This is all powers of a. Right? So we will prove that H is a subgroup of G. Right? So a power 0 is equals to E. This implies E belongs to H. Right? And second point to be proved is correct. So let a power n and a power m belong to H, right? So we will prove that these AB inverse belongs to H for every AB in H. Now since we are considering two elements in H, all the elements of H are of the form some power of A. So we are taking a power n and a power m belongs to H, right? So we will prove that a power n into a power m inverse belongs to H. We have to prove that because this is our first element, this is our second element. First element into second element inverse, which is equal to a power n into a power minus m is equals to a power n minus m, which is the power of a. So with that belongs to H, right? So we don't need to prove anything, and we have already proved that identity belongs to H. This implies H is non-empty. So the very first one-step subgroup test was defined as let H be any non-empty subset of a group G, right? Then H is a subgroup if A, B inverse belongs to H for every A and B in H, and that we have proved. Identity belongs to H, this implies H is non-empty. Then we have proved that AB inverse belongs to H for each A and B in H. Now we have taken these two elements because every element of H is a form of this form, a power n, right? So our next special subgroup is center of a group. Let us define it first. The subset ZG, note that G is a group. The subset ZG of a group G is a subgroup of G. Now we will define what is this ZG. This is called center of G, right? So this is the definition. So the center ZG of a group G, this is the definition. This is the definition. The center ZG of a group G is the subset of all elements in G that commute with every element of G. Correct? So the subset Zg of a group G is a subgroup of G. Center of a group is defined as, it is the set of all elements in G that commute with every element of G, right? So let us write Zg. Let us try to write it. Okay? We will define the subset. Set of all elements in G. First of all, these are all elements in G, right? So this is G such that, now we will write the condition. Such that xg is equals to gx for every x that belongs to G, right? So this is the center of a group. This is the set of all elements in G such that xg is equals to gx for all x in G. This is the commutative property. So now here when we are saying that gx is equal to xg for all x in G, it means that G commutes with every element in G, right? So we will prove that this is a subgroup of G. Correct? So we define Zg as all such G belonging to G such that xg is equals to gx for every x that belongs to G. Correct? And to prove that this is a subgroup, we just need to prove that AB inverse belongs to Zg, right? So let A and B belongs to Zg. If we somehow prove this condition, we'll be able to say that it is a subgroup of G, right? So to prove that AB inverse belongs to Zg, we will need to prove that AB inverse also commutes with every element of G, right? Since Zg is the set of all elements in G that commute with every element of G, this implies to prove that AB inverse belongs to Zg, we will have to prove that it commutes with every element of G, right? So let x belongs to G, right? We have to just satisfy this condition. If this condition is also satisfied for AB inverse, it will mean that this belongs to that subgroup. Okay, so x into AB inverse should be equal to AB inverse into x if this condition holds and x is any arbitrary element of G. It is any random element of G, right? So if this is to be proved, if we are able to prove that, then this will be a subgroup of G. Now to prove that x into AB inverse, let's apply associative operation here. Okay, so since these are all elements of G, we shouldn't be having any problem in applying associativity. And also here we have applied commutativity because A and B belong to center of the group, so it will commute with x. Okay, so because A and B belongs to ZG, it implies AX is equals to XA and BX is equals to XB for every X in G, right? So here we applied commutativity while going from here to here. This was associativity. This is commutativity. XA into XA is equals to AX into B inverse, which is equal to, again we are applying associativity. Then we have now since B commutes with X, right? So we will show that B inverse also commutes with X, correct? So these steps prove that B inverse also commutes with X. We had Bx is equals to Xb pre-multiply by B inverse, right? So B inverse Xb here, this became the identity, correct? And B inverse Xb, now right multiply by B inverse, correct? So I multiplied E into X into B inverse, which was this E into X into B inverse is equals to B inverse XE, right? So I have simply left, and by just applying simple operations, left multiplication and right multiplication, because in a group left and right cancellation laws hold, that is why we are able to do all this stuff, right? So this implies XB inverse is equals to B inverse X. So we have learned that if B commutes with X, then B inverse also commutes with X, correct? So right, so this is again commutativity, and now we use associativity. So from here to here we have proved that X into AB inverse is equals to AB inverse into X. Therefore AB inverse belongs to ZG. Okay, so this is a subgroup of G. So our next special kind of subgroup is centralizer of an element in G. Let G be a group and A is a fixed element in G, then say what is centralizer of A in G? It is then the set of all elements in G that commute with A, with that element, is called the centralizer of A in G. Correct? and we define it as C of A is equals to all such G belonging to G such that AG is equals to GA. Correct? The earlier definition was center of a group. Center of a group is on a large level. It's defined on a large level. It's defined on the entire group. It says that it is the set of all elements in a group that commute with every element of group. Now we are saying that it is the set of elements in a group G which commute with A. Since we are defining it on a particular element of a group, there we didn't have any particular element. Here we are defining it on a particular element of a group. So if G is a group and A is any fixed element in G, then the set of all elements in G that commute with the A is called the centralizer of A in G, and this is written as CA, which is centralizer of A in G. It is the set of all G in G such that AG is equals to, this has to be G. So to prove that it is a subgroup, it is again a subgroup of G. We need to prove that it is non-empty, correct? Identity belongs to CA. Okay, so it is very important to prove that identity belongs to centralizer of A, because E into A is A into E is E, right? Now this identity is same as the identity of the group. Next is let A and B belongs to CA. We'll prove that AB inverse belongs to CA. It is a similar proof like we did earlier. Let's not take it because there is a naming confusion. We have already taken an element A, so we cannot take A and B. Let XY belongs to CA, right? This implies XA is equals to AX and AY is equals to YA. Okay, so let's take XY inverse into A is equals to X into Y inverse A, associativity, and here we can prove that easily by left and right multiplying the elements. We can easily prove that Y inverse also commutes with A, correct? And this is like A into Y inverse is equals to Y inverse, correct? A into E is Y inverse, left multiplied by Y inverse. This is Y inverse A is equals to AY. Sorry, it was Y inverse, correct? AY is equals to YA, right multiplied by Y inverse. This becomes A is equals to YA inverse. This becomes now left multiplied by Y inverse. Y inverse AE is equals to Y inverse Y inverse. Now this becomes identity. So we have AY inverse, Y inverse A is equals to AY inverse. Anyhow, this you can prove yourself, these operations, and we can say that, let's come back here, this is equal to X into AY inverse is equals to X into A Y inverse by associativity, then again commutativity of X. Associativity. So this is how. So this implies XY inverse belongs to centralizer. Okay. So center of a group is a set of all elements in G that commutes with every element of G. Centralizer of A in G is a set of all elements in G which commute with A, with that particular element. And there is one more subgroup that we talked about, that was let's come back to that subgroup. And as I said that we have a special name for that subgroup, we'll define it now. That was this. This is called cyclic subgroup generated by the element A. Correct? So this is cyclic subgroup generated by the element A. If at all G becomes equal to this, then we say that G is a cyclic group. Generated by A. So this is for now, just remember that this subgroup is also called a cyclic subgroup and it is generated by A. Why do we say that it is generated by A? Because it contains all powers of A. A square, A cube, A4, A5. So we say that it is generated by A. If at all it turns out to be equal to the group itself, then we say that G is a cyclic group generated by A. And that was all for today's video. So today we learned about some special subgroups, which is a cyclic subgroup of a group that is generated by a particular element. Then we talked about center of a group. It is the set of all elements in a group that commutes with every element in the group. And last one was centralizer of an element in a group. That is the set of all elements that commutes with that particular element. So all these are subgroups of group. So you can try and practice these proofs by using any of the subgroup tests. Since these special subgroups in these, while proving these special subgroups, we have not used the finiteness of the set, so we will not be able to use the last finite subgroup test, but we can use the first two subgroup tests. And one-step subgroup test and two-step subgroup test are almost same. One says that AB inverse belongs to the subgroup itself, the other one says that it is closed under multiplication and inverse. So it is basically combining 1 and 2, we get 1. Okay, so in the next video we'll talk about cyclic groups and special characteristics of cyclic groups. So hope you liked this video. Thank you so much.